Hello, good morning or good afternoon for you. How you doing?
And how
Good. Is it echoey? Is my voice echoey?
just a little bit.
Let me see if I can turn it down. I hear it. Is that better?
It's alright.
No, it might be this room.
Mhm.
It's dead here. So I think it's just the fact that it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's doing that like weird thing. Um,
You said it's 4 in the morning where you
yes,
are.
yeah, I live in Thailand.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's cool.
Yes, my business, a lot of my vendors are here in Asia. So that's
Mhm.
part of me growing my business right now is really trying to
Mhm.
like reach out to those vendors and then get more business like here in Asia and then more expat business just in general.
Mhm. Do you like it over there?
I do. I mean, relatively, right? There's lots of things I miss, but I would absolutely rather be here than in the States.
Uh,
So,
I was in I was living in Spain for like 3 months.
oh,
For,
nice.
yeah, for school, like a few years ago. And when I came back here, I was like, wow, I don't like it as much. Like
Yeah,
it's just so much like it's like prettier over there. It's just like I feel like it is a lot more to look at. I feel like it just visually just looks like a lot better. So when I came back over here, it just feels a lot more like run down. Maybe just where I'm at in Virginia. So I don't know.
I'm from Virginia. I grew up off of like Cary Street in the West End, so
Hmm.
I get the contrast. I get the
Yeah.
contrast. Well, so I love that you are a traveler. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about like what you love to do. What do you like to do for fun? What are your
Hmm.
likes, your dislikes? What are you doing in school? What do you hope to, do career wise once you're done?
Yeah. So like you said, like I like to travel. That's something that's really a big part of like my personality. I like to go and explore and do things like that. Which is kind of a part of like the social media thing because I like to post what I do, post my day to day like stuff like that. So that's like a fun little outlet that I've kind of been doing for the last few months. And I also do like I'm very active. I go to the gym, sports. I play tennis. So that's something I've been doing
Okay.
since I was a kid. So I've been playing tennis for a super long time. I say, I guess about me. I got a puppy a little while ago.
Mm.
I love dogs. I have another pup. Well, I have another dog. I used to now. Who's a pit bull. So he's like my brother basically because he's like our family dog. Um, and yeah, I originally went to college for biology at George Mason when I got out of high school. I realized I did not like it at all. So then I went back to community college, got my associate's degree in studio art, and then went to VCU 2023 for communication art, which that major is very broad, so you can kind of do a lot of different things with it. I started out kind of trying everything, and then now that I've kind of narrowed down, I'm really interested in like graphic design, specifically learning about marketing and social media. So I wanted to take this semester really like learn about actually being in like a working with a business and actually trying to do social media aside from doing it by myself, like with with my own personal things, but also like kind of push a business, learn about branding, like on an actual practical level. So that's pretty much like why I was interested in doing like an internship for this semester, just to like actually practice that, so I can kind of build that knowledge for when I graduate.
And what do you want to do? Like, if you could pick your ideal job, somebody could like lay it in your lap. What would that be?
I would say I would love to work as like in either like marketing or just like working for like on a social media, I guess, for like a big company. So it doesn't have to necessarily be huge, but like just a company that probably I know of. I really like retail. I like feminine things, so I like clothes. I like hair, makeup, stuff like that. So if I could work for like a company doing social media for like a company, that would be like kind of a dream goal. But this is a great experience. I had an internship last year where I worked for a record label doing graphic design for them,
Nice.
and also working like kind of also in person for them. Like I was helping like with their events and like how they were going to do their next year's internships and stuff like that. So I also do work for my mom. She's a therapist and she has her own practice and things like that. And I help her, kind of similar, help her with her programs. So not really social media focused, but more focused on how like she can kind of build her business and like what programs she can work on and actually help build some of her programs like for teen outreach and things like that. So I kind of have experience in like a little bit of different areas, but I wanted to grow as much as possible while I'm in school.
And no, I love that. I think something that you said was really important is that the different fields probably all have different ways to do things, right? What's really
Mm-hmm.
good to market from a mental health perspective might not be as great in the music side. And then what might really work in music might not work in health and beauty and might what really work in health and beauty, you know? So I think that
Mm-hmm.
having experience in different fields is really important. I think it makes you well rounded. Something that I do in all of my positions is even though the position says like it has a certain title and you will be doing that certain thing, there are lots of other things that we're going to end up doing also, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
UX testing, right? That's part of what we're going to be doing. So that's something that you could add to your resume in the future. They're not only were we doing marketing and social media and like not product design, but like what is the word that I'm thinking of? Outreach design or branding. You can also say
Mm-hmm.
like UX design, right? UX,
Mm-hmm.
what is it called? Testing is the right word. Because we are going to be testing a bunch of stuff, right? My last social media person, I think it was almost a year ago. Almost a year ago. It was around this time that we
Mm-hmm.
kind of stopped everything. So my social media page has kind of been mute or like not
Mm-hmm.
really doing too much since then. I have several businesses, so it's really hard for me to focus on marketing on the ones where I don't need to market, if that makes any sense.
Gotcha.
I have businesses where I will not get a client if I don't market, and then I have Virgin Mary, which is not the case. Virgin Mary is plenty of places where random people can find it and reach out to me, and I'll get a sale. And that literally happens all the time to this day. It'll be something from
Mm-hmm.
a year ago or 2 years ago, or somebody will just look me up on Instagram or look me up on Google and get a sale. So I don't put as much of my attention on this business as I would like to, but that's also why
Mm-hmm.
I get an intern, right? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
very clear cut and it's easy. So it's easy for somebody else to understand and delegate, which some of my other businesses aren't because they are services, right? And a lot of times, service ideas and concepts come out of my brain, which is no way for you to know what's in my brain. Versus Virgin Mary is a product based business. Products are very simple. This is the product, this is the price, this is what it looks like. These are very factual things that you can go and look up, that you have a reference to, that you can easily create material based on without me, if that makes any sense, right? So that is
Mm-hmm.
really where I choose to put the intern at this point because I feel like that's where I would need the most help, right? So where the position is going to be doing social media, but there's going to be a lot of A/B testing. There's going to be a lot of user testing. There's going to be a lot of figuring out what's the best way to do this, right? Because I definitely could give you everything that the last social media person did. I've had two since I started, and they both have different styles. And you can once you go onto the like social media, my social media page, you'll see the difference. I'm not looking for somebody who's going to duplicate somebody else's style. I'm looking for somebody who is going to create a new version of what this looks like that generates sales and that
Mhm.
brings in new people. I want it to reach people, right? It's not just about posting every day. And I think that is what my last intern did. She simply thought posting sufficed. And it's not that it doesn't, but if posting every day doesn't reach anybody, then you really are just wasting your time. Outside of the fact that we can say something went on social media today, right? And there's some new reference point. But I really don't want to post every day just to say we did it. I
Yeah.
want to post every day for results. To me, if you are posting every day and we're not getting likes and we don't have people finding it and people are not reaching out, it's not SEO friendly, it's not Google search friendly, then to me, it feels as if your time is being wasted, right? Because I don't want somebody who's just creating an online picture book of my business, right? The purpose for
Mhm.
social media is to market. So if the marketing
Yeah.
isn't hitting, then that means we're doing something wrong, right? So I am always a person to pivot. Pivoting is something that is going to be very important in this role because we might start off at A, we might realize A is not working and we might need to move to B. And then we might realize that B is working a little bit, but if we do C, C is gonna work better, right? So I
Yeah.
need somebody who's gonna be okay with that, who's gonna know that like change and pivoting can happen, who's gonna be okay to go with the flow, who's gonna be open and available to want to try to do different things to really figure out what works best.
Gotcha. Yeah, I kind of got a bit of that when, because as a little summer project for myself, I was like, let me just make my own Instagram, like post all the time and see how it does. And that's been like kind of the same thing. I'm like, okay, I'm posting, but like some posts I'm noticing that don't do as well. And like I kind of phase those out and post new things. And I don't know if you ever were able to look. I don't know if I can show if I said this here or not, but for my page, it's just like a like I said, like a little blog page. And I had one video that actually did pretty well, and then I have some videos that like have higher engagement, less views, and I have some that have like way more views and less engagement. So I kind of like learning that as well. But definitely like using it for a business is like it's still on the same little road, but definitely I can learn a lot from doing this as well. So I'm like that's kind of goes on what I've been doing anyways, and kind of practicing that. So I want you to when you get a chance, you can take a look at my page because you can kind of see. Obviously, the style's going to be different because we're doing hair and stuff, but you can kind of see like how where my like strengths are when it comes to branding and having a strong sense of unity, and also like when you post a lot too. It builds community as well. So I want that's also super important. So I know I saw that you work with people who maybe have like prosthetic things like that. So that can be something that can kind of unify people, on your page as well. So I think it's all cool things that we can kind of look at when we get rolling.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely want to check out your social media because I want to see your style. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
looking for somebody to necessarily duplicate my style or somebody
Mm-hmm.
to necessarily take their personal style and put it into the business. I'm hoping
Gotcha.
that somebody can see the essence of what Virgin Mary is and then
Mm-hmm.
create some really beautiful style that aligns with that
Of
in
course,
addition
yeah.
to kind of goes with everything that's already there, right? We have brand colors, we have like a font or a style that we typically do. So I kind of want to keep with that. I have some templates that I think would be very good. But there
Okay.
is some things outside of like production that are very important. Alignment is very important to me. I am a person who is big on energy and us aligning, making sure that we're on the same page. I
Mm-hmm.
think I could want you and you could want to be here, but it could also just not work, right? So leaving room for that and knowing that that is okay if that happens. But how do you feel like you work under pressure or without direct guidance or independently? Is that something that you like, you don't like? Do you feel like you need somebody who is there more often for you to reach out to? Do you feel like you prefer to not have somebody who is like, hyper aware or hyper focused on what you're doing on a daily basis? What is your like preferred way of working?
I would say I can. I think as long as I have some structure as far as like what needs to be done. I don't necessarily need someone like watching over me all day. I just do feel like I work best when I have very clear outline of, hey, I need this by this time, or I'm looking for this. And if I do have a question, that I can reach out to you and like get some direction, while being able to like make deadlines and stuff. So I think that's the main thing. As long as I'm able to communicate effectively, I don't necessarily need you like, on speed dial. I need to talk to you all day long. So I would say I work pretty well independently as long as the goes.
Okay. And how are you about communicating? Let's say I give you a task and the entire
Mm-hmm.
task confuses the fuck out of you. What would you do?
Mm-hmm. The first thing I'm definitely going to just ask, like, hey, like I'm like that. Like I work at the mall, just like on Saturdays, and my manager asked me to do something. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So can you show me what you're talking about? She's like, oh, I'm glad you actually asked because some people will just do something and they have no idea what they're actually supposed to be doing. So I'm going to say, hey, I don't understand, and I'll just ask you. And as far as communication, I definitely try my best to reach out. As soon as I have a question or as soon as there's an issue, I definitely will try to ask you. Kind of like what happened on was it Thursday? I was like, oh my god, like that never really happened. So that's why I was like, hoping that you would still want to see me. But as soon as I realized what happened, I quickly reached out to you because that's pretty much how I am. I'm gonna reach out as soon as possible.
Good. I'm always available. If
Mm-hmm.
offered the position, like you'll have my phone number, so you'll be able to message me. As you can see, even though I'm on the other side of the world, it's like pitch black dark outside. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
up. I am normally up East Coast time, West Coast time, so I normally will stay up later in the afternoon to get
Mm-hmm.
like East Coast hours, and then I'll stay up later. I'll get up early in the morning to get West Coast hours. So one way or the
Gotcha.
other, you could catch me your morning or your night, but I should be up one of those
Mm-hmm.
times. So if you ever like message me and I don't respond, I always get back to it. Communication is very, 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 very important for me.
Mm-hmm.
um, you don't understand something, like let me know as soon as you know. I purposely go out of my way to hire other black women for two reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One, because I want to give them a safe space that I don't think most of us get. And then
Mm-hmm.
two, just because I want to give them a role in which they're actually doing the work for, if that makes any sense. Like I said earlier, just because you're doing my social media doesn't mean that you aren't doing UX and all of these other things, right? That would
Mm-hmm.
probably not get mentioned. And that's why I don't really call it an assistant position, because even though you're helping me, you're really running the social media aspect from a artistic standpoint, right? Like I might
Mm-hmm.
have say so on certain things, but I'm not creating every flyer and I'm not putting the ideas and the thoughts in your head. So I'm not taking creative credit for any of that. So I feel like it's very important to have someone who is okay with taking that lead, who is okay with making decisions. Like there's going to be guidelines. We have colors. Like I said, we have fonts. So you're not making a bunch of arbitrary decisions, but I think a lot of it is creative, right? So I need somebody who wants to be creative. And creativity can't come from you asking me, right? Because it is not your
Yeah.
creativity. It's me telling you what to do, and then that's not creative at that point, right? So I don't want somebody who's going to necessarily do what Derica would do, right? I want
And what
somebody
do
who is
what? Sorry,
going.
sorry, you're breaking a little bit.
Oh, I said I don't want somebody who's going to do what Derica, like what I would do. I want somebody
Okay.
who is going to see beyond that, who would see what the client would want to see, who you've done research on other people's pages and well, this works really good for them or that works really good for them. So let's see how we can do a version of that, right? Not let's take what I've already been doing that maybe got me 3 likes and do that again. right? I want somebody who's going to be innovative, who's going to come with fresh ideas, who's going to want to do market research, who's a lot of this stuff is things that I can't necessarily teach you. Now I can tell you to do it, right? I can give you a list of all the things to do. We can go through, we can, and we will do that in training, right? We will go to other brands, we'll look at them, see what they're doing, we'll get ideas. But I really want somebody who enjoys being creative. Do you feel like you are a creative person?
Yes, that's pretty much what I do every day. In school and outside of school too. Honestly, I do spend a lot of time. Like today, actually, as soon as we get off this call, I'm going to be designing a PowerPoint from scratch because that's something that I want on my portfolio. So that's something I'm just going to be doing. So that's the type of stuff that I like to do. I definitely am very creative. That's part of why I picked the degree that I picked, because it's very broad, but you can also kind of hone in on certain aspects and certain things. So yeah, I definitely I will ask you like, hey, is this kind of like somewhere that you this direction that you would like to go in? But once we kind of get on like a groove and like okay, like you like kind of what I'm doing and it's going along with you, what your vision for your company to be, then we're good to go. But I will definitely I love doing market research. Like, hey, this person does this, and I kind of like a little bit of that, but also like a little bit of this, because I can because you want to be original, but you also want to appeal to people at the same time. I think that's something people like kind of lose sight on. We're like, oh, I want to do what I want to do, and it's like, well, sometimes what you want to do isn't what people want to see. So you have to
Yep. You
kind of
don't reinvent the
go.
wheel. You just change the
Yeah.
color. You put a little
Yep.
bow on it, you know. You put your
Yep.
logo on it or your stamp on it. And I think that's very important. I think a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
get caught up in trying to reinvent the wheel, right? And they spend a lot of
Right.
time trying to just figure out something. No, no. We have colors. We have a font. We have a concept. I mean, the hair is the hair, right?
Right.
This is gonna look like this no matter whether it's brand new or next month or the following month or 3 months from now. Like the product is the product, you know. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I need somebody who is imaginative, but it's also okay with like seeing a bunch of the same, right? Because unfortunately a lot of the hair looks alike, right? So it can get kind of mundane, which is why I think the creativity part is really important. Um,
Yeah.
how do you work under like pressure situations? For example, like Black Friday is really a really big deal for us. Black Friday is coming up, so Black Friday is going to be November and part of October are going to be way busier and way more intense than everything else.
Mm-hmm.
How is that for you? Do you feel like that would be okay? I know that's similar kind of time to like midterms and everything.
Mm-hmm. I work good under pressure. I would say just like depending on what we're doing, I just need some notice on like, okay, how like the intensity, how does it affect what you need from me? So I might spend more time like batch making stuff ahead of time so that I don't have to spend as much time because like I said, it's like getting if it's like close to the end of the semester or like midterms or whatever. I just need to make sure I'm also having time for that stuff. So it's like it's just still kind of like the communication thing. As long as you like kind of let me know like, hey, when it's getting close to Black Friday, we're gonna need a lot more of X, Y, and Z. Then I can kind of adjust from there. I worked in like before like school and everything. Just I worked in about every fast food type of job or places where you're gonna have to work really quick and you're gonna have to pivot and stuff like that. So I'm used to working under pressure, being stressed because that's pretty much what those jobs are. So yeah, I'm definitely used to that. As far as the content itself, since you're not here, like as far as like making the videos and stuff, like how exactly is like your process for doing that?
So I have a folder, and it has
Mm-hmm.
all of the Virgin Mary content, probably like 3,000, maybe more, some
Okay.
photos and videos in it. So
Mm-hmm.
anytime I get something new, it basically just gets added to that folder. So everything
Mm-hmm.
in that folder is free game for you to go through and use. Now, some of that stuff in that folder is for my other interns. They also use that. So some of them have a little bit of a different focus on what they're doing with the pictures. So, like I said, I'm out here in Thailand. There's a lot of brand deals that I'm working on. There's some vlog stuff that I'm doing, right? So there's gonna be pictures of like hotels and my travels and stuff in there, but you don't have to worry about any of those, right? None of that's getting posted to my Virgin Mary social media page. But somebody else is working on that for marketing materials, for branding, for outreach, for other things. So most of that stuff in there is going to be applicable for you. But once you see the Instagram, you're going to know what to post and what not to post, right? Really, the only things that go on Instagram are pictures and videos of me and pictures and videos of the hair. That's really it. So any pictures you see of hotels or outside or animals or anything like that, you can ignore all of those. But basically, you just go into the folder and you pick pictures. My first um, social media person, she just went in there and she just picked whatever she wanted and she just went through and planned and batched everything like you did and just scheduled it out. The second person I had, she preferred if I picked everything. So now the only thing with that is, once again, my creative mind and your creative mind is two different things, right? So if I'm picking everything, that means in my mind, I have ideas of what's supposed to go with everything, right? If I don't regurgitate that to you, or if you're not a mind reader, then there's no way of you knowing. So unless I plan out everything and give you all of the photos, what I personally have noticed is that it's a little bit more difficult, right? Because instead of you having 2,000 pictures from you to choose from and you deciding which one you think works best for this week based on whatever's in your head, I've given you five. And now you don't have no choice but to come up with concepts for these five pictures, because these are the only ones I've given you, and these are your deliverables for the week. So now that is completely up to you on like what your preference would be if you're offered the position. But I personally want people to bask in their creativity, and I personally don't think that happens if I am telling you exactly what you should be doing every week. Now, that doesn't mean I won't, of course, because I want to do what works best for each person. And I know, just like me, the way I learn is very specific. So I know the way that everybody else learns can be very specific. So I want to adhere to that, right? I want to do whatever works best for you as an individual person. So knowing that, what do you think you would prefer? Do you think you would prefer artistic freedom, or would you prefer to have the pictures or videos or whatever delegated to you? You'll know the topics. We'll have topics. Like there's a calendar. So it'll be like Monday is alopecia awareness. Tuesday and Thursday we do posts. Wednesday and Friday we do videos. Saturday we do sales. Sunday we do affirmation, right? So you'll have an idea of what's supposed to go on each day.
Okay.
But I don't give you the actual picture and be like, put this on Monday and say something about alopecia. Put this on Tuesday and say something about, this. So that part is up to you on what type of guidance you need and what type of direction you work best with. Because I don't want to leave you hanging and make it feel like, oh, well, she didn't tell me what to do. These are a lot of photos. But some people work better that way. Some people have their own ideas and their own concepts and their own way in which they see this working, right? And if I give you 1, 2, 3, that means you cannot do ABC, right? So on the creative side, I really try to make that as artistic focused as possible, because I'm not the artist, right?
Yeah,
I'm
I
just the
definitely
person
want
getting the
to
content.
just have the picture, then I can just do it myself. Cause it's easier to work forward and for me like to work not backwards. I know some people like working backwards, but they have the stuff and then they can make something go with it. But 2,000 pictures. I have 23,000 pictures on my phone, and I go through all of them because that's how I actually work better. Like being able to see everything and like I can kind of just go through. Okay, I like this and that. So I'm like kind of used to that. So that's fine. I don't think I work well going backwards. As long like I like that there's like a calendar and schedule. So I'm not like okay, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing today, and I can kind of just do it that way. So that's really great. I like that. There's like a pool of pictures and videos that I can pull from. And yeah, like I said, I wouldn't want to work with you telling me if let's say that's what you wanted to do, but if you prefer me to do it like that, that's how I prefer to do it. So we can do it that way.
Whatever is artistically working, right? I feel like a lot of managers tell you how they want you to work, and that does not necessarily work for each person. No, nobody.
Yeah.
There's no cookie cutter way to do anything. So I'm not. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to put people into a mold and say do it like this, right? Because if you do it like this, maybe it's gonna come out a lot more beautiful. And I just never gave you that opportunity because I'm stuck on this mold, you know. So
Yeah.
we kind of go with the energy, and I always just kind of see and flow, and then we kind of create a process based on what is most comfortable for you, right? Because one, you're in school, right? School is always top priority. That is very, very important to me. Nothing should come before school. So if you have a hard week at school, and I don't even mean like just busy, maybe it's just emotionally taking you out, right? I don't want the emotionally drained version of you showing up for work, right? I want the well rested version of you that shows up for work, right? I want the you have gotten your energy together, you have figured it all out, you are good to go version of you to show up for work. So if for whatever reason you are busy or time is gotten away from you, just let me know. We work all of that out, but I think hitting deadlines is the most important thing. I
Mm-hmm.
am a very lenient boss. I'm a very understanding boss. Timelines is my shit, right? So if everything is supposed to be turned in on Saturday or scheduled by Saturday, and it's not, that's really when you gonna hear from me, right? If we
Yeah.
have if everything is supposed to be scheduled, let's say 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I wake up on the other side of the world and it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and nothing got posted, you're gonna get a text from me like, hey, what's going on? You know? But outside of like missing deadlines, I'm not gonna be on you. If there's no deadline, if there was nothing due, if there was nothing I'm looking for, I'm a very hands off type person. Um,
Gotcha. Okay.
Also, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I would just say I got. I would just say.
No, also, I was just going to say, I do think that communication is very important, though. I think a lot of people, not a lot, but I think in the past, simply because I am so understanding about things, I think that is sometimes taken advantage of. And so I want to make clear that, yes, I understand things, but that I'm still running a business, right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm just a girl. I am not a big corporation. I don't have somebody who I could call in if you don't come. I don't have a backup plan if you don't post. It's not in my time of my day to be able to then do that last minute. So I do need somebody who is reliable, who is
Mm-hmm.
consistent, who is going to show up when they say they're going to show up, who's going to do stuff when they said they're going to do it, and who values my business as much as I value my business. There also
Yeah.
is an opportunity to make money. My last intern, she wears hair, which I don't know if you do and you don't have to. There's no requirement for that, of course. But I would send her hair and she would install it and she would post it on social media and people would ask her, where you got your hair from? So anybody she sent to me who ordered, she would get a commission from that. Now, you
Mm.
don't have to have the hair in your head to get a commission. You could literally tell somebody at school, hey, shop Virgin Mary, and if your friend comes and she's like, hey, Brianna told me I should buy some hair from y'all, then you still get it. So it's not like you have to have the hair on and you have to be like rocking it. That's just the way that she did it. But there is an option for that. I gotta go back and look at it, but I'm pretty sure it's like 15 or 20% would be your commission for
Okay.
every sale. Anybody who says that you sent them to me, and of course social media is easier, right? Because they commented on your post, so it's just easy to see. But either way, if you send me a message and be like, "Hey, I just sent you Deja. She said she was about to buy some hair," then that works too. And then I could just like cash up you or Zelle you or whatever. Um, Once
Okay.
their payment posts.
Yeah.
So that is
That sounds
a little way to make some money.
okay. Yeah, I definitely probably won't wear it just because I have locks. But yeah, that's definitely something I like. People, I have this group full of black girls on. It's called a groupie, and they have like a little side group for school, and they always say, "Hey, you know anyone who does hair? Hey, you know anywhere you can get some hair?" So that definitely would be somewhere. I'll just casually promote it. I'm already someone's already talked about it. I'm not gonna spam and get kicked out, but yeah, I definitely can throw it out there for sure. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to, I want to also just look over your Instagram and kind of see, and like look at some of the past stuff, like you're saying, so you can see what everybody else has been working on. I think it'd be really cool to, if I can work with you. I really like just, like you said, working with fellow black women as well is really cool. And like I said, I work with my mom too, so I kind of know what it's like what she said. She has a hard time finding help because no one cares about her business as much as her. So I'm about as close as she could get because I obviously I'm her daughter, so I'm gonna care a lot about it.
That's family
Um,
shmoney.
yeah, so she knows I'm gonna care. She knows I'm gonna show up.
Right.
But I really do bring that same energy into really anything I do. Where I do make sure I care, make sure I put in as much effort as possible. Because, like you said, I can post every day, but I will honestly tell you, like, hey, like I post this because this is what we're like supposed to be posting. But I think we should prioritize posting blah blah blah. Like if we're a smaller page, I don't know how many followers you have, but if we're a smaller page, we should probably be prioritizing reels as much as possible. Stuff like that. Like I'll tell you like what I'm thinking because I've done a lot of research for my own page on what I should be doing. And sometimes I take it, sometimes I don't, but at least I know the information so I can tell somebody else, like, yeah, I probably should be posting. I like posting pictures more than posting videos, personally, because I
Same.
love photography. But I'm like, I gotta make reels because reels is how you grow. And I had, like I said, one reel actually do pretty good. So I was like, okay, maybe I should keep posting reels. So
And that's important too. You said something that was very important, right? Because we have two different jobs. I'm running the business, right? So I'm worried about taxes and inventory and sales and all of these other things, right? So sometimes the creative brain, I ain't got it, right? I don't have the energy. I don't have the focus. So telling me, all right, Derica, we need some reels, right? I need you to record videos that I can use as reels. I need you to record videos washing the hair. I need you to record videos
yeah,
installing the hair. I need you to record videos flat ironing the hair. I need that, right? Because I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie to you, a lot of the content is just arbitrary, right? Because I don't have the
mm-hmm,
focused time, I guess, really to be like, okay, I'm gonna take this video and it's gonna be specifically for a caption that says this, and the
yeah,
description is gonna say this. I don't have it, right? So if you have it and you're like, all right, well, I know we did this week, but next week, Derica, I really want to have the focus on hair care, right? Or let's say, I think, what month is that? I think I might have missed it actually. One of the months is like alopecia awareness, right? So let's say
mm-hmm,
you're like, all right, well, September, and I don't think it's September, but let's say you're like, September, Derek, I really want to focus on alopecia awareness. I think that's really great. Get me a video that does this and this and this and this. I want that, right? This is not just me telling you what to do, right? Because you are the SME here, the subject matter expert, right? Just because I necessarily can do the things doesn't mean I do it better, right? Just because I run the business doesn't mean everything in the business I do great. That's just a
mm-hmm,
fucking lie, right? So I want your expertise. I want your opinion. Do not feel bad or hesitate to tell me what you need from me. Do not feel bad or hesitate to tell me what you don't have, what I was supposed to do and I never did, because that's going to happen, right? You're going to be like, all right, well, I really would like a video of you doing A, B, and C. And there's going to be a time where I'm probably not going to get it to you, right? Because life happened and I have like four other businesses also. So I'm not just running the one
Yeah.
business, I'm running the other businesses too. So that very well could happen. So we're going to have like a track sheet for lack of a better way, and it'll have all of your ideas on it, and I want you to just put them on
Okay.
there, and that holds me accountable too for what you asked for me and I didn't deliver. So this is like a two-way street on that. Is that something that you're comfortable with too? Because my last intern, she was not, really did not, and it's not her fault and I don't blame her for that, right? But you see a side of the coin I don't see. So if
So,
the coin is facing your way, I need you to
okay.
tell me what you want.
So you said, was I comfortable with? You said like keeping track of. What was the last part about that?
Telling me what you need.
Yes, yes. I was. Yes, if I need like, cause I'm going to need specific videos because when I first started my plan, what I think I would want to do for you, for like when I look over to Instagram and everything, of course, want to see what you've already done, what's been successful, what hasn't been. Look at similar pages and see what they're doing, see what's successful for them, what's not really that successful, and then put that all together and say, okay, these are the type of videos I think we should make, and just like test them to see what performs well. Of course, I mean, how many followers do you have on your Instagram?
I think it's like 1,600. It's not a lot.
Okay.
It might be
So
less
yeah,
than that actually.
based on that, also look over like stories, like what kind of stories should we like post and stuff like that. Because like you said, it's hair, so it can get kind of repetitive, like you're saying. But I mean, that's what a lot of like brands they just post the same thing over and over, just different ways. Like I don't
That's
know if like
another
people,
thing. Yes, that's very
yeah,
important. Feel
yeah.
comfortable doing that. My
Yeah, so
page
we're
has been
gonna
up
of
for
course do
6 years.
research and stuff. So it's not gonna be like just posting whatever I want to post. I'm posting what people want to see and what gives people results for their branding and stuff like that. So that's definitely my strategy for how I go about it. Of course, like I'm not posting anything just because I'm like, oh, this is pretty. Like I want to post it based on like we're trying to make money. So it will also make sure our like the funnel for our like, to build the money, like build people who are actually coming to the website to buy is clear, stuff like that. So we're not like making people drop off because
Right,
every time you make people do more work, they're gonna you losing sales and stuff.
right.
So um, I have one she ran a hair shop, like kind of my family friend or whatever. And she asked me to look over her page, and I could not, for like the life of me, figure out how to even make an appointment. And I was like, if I'm having a hard time and I'm actively looking, that is 100% why you're having a hard time with like your actual customers who, people who might actually want to be a customer are having a hard time because they're not going to do as much work as I'm doing. Because I went through three different, I went to Facebook, Google, Instagram, and I could not find out how to make an appointment. So I told her that's like 99% of your problem right there.
Right.
So I want to like make sure I'm very very clear when I'm looking at your page too. Like how can we make money and make more money than what we're doing? So that's kind of like the biggest thing. As far as like I said, just making sure everything's like really efficient and that when you're posting, once we kind of build like the videos and posts that are the most effective, we just keep pushing those out. Because a lot of these big influencers and brands and stuff, they post the same, like they post the same stuff.
Yep, if
So,
they got a video that got 10,000 views, you're going to see that same video 2 or 3 weeks, a
mm,
month from now. Yep, yep,
that's it.
yep,
So
yep.
I definitely will tell you, like I need, like cause I know I'm going to need certain things, cause I'm just gonna guess that based off if you like you said there are more arbitrary like videos and pictures, I know I'm gonna probably need specific things. A lot of action, movement, stuff like that. So once we look over everything, of course, if we continue, um, I definitely would try to tell you like, hey, I think this could be a solid game plan. Do you think we will have like meetings and stuff, or is it going to be more just like based on what we're talking about? Like we'll just kind of communicate that way and just make adjustments, or do you want to have like specific meetings to talk about our progress?
Oh no, we will
I know
definitely
you
have
said
meetings. We will have meetings
okay.
every 2 weeks. And the only reason it's not more often is because I hate micromanaging people. I am a
Mm-hmm.
firm believer of if you had a question, you would just call me, right? Or if you wanted to speak about something that was
Yeah.
important, that you would just call me. So I don't need to be like, did you do it? Did you do it? Because I'm sure you did it. So yeah, we normally meet every 2 weeks. And every 2 weeks we come up with like a new strategy, for lack of a better way of saying it. We'll talk about if there's any holidays coming up, if there's any prep that we need to do, if marketing is changing, if messaging is changing, whatever that looks like. I call them powwows. So you'll have a link, kind of like you scheduled for this one, and you'll just go in and schedule the powwow session on whatever time and date that works for you. What I normally try to do is have them at the same day and time every two
Yeah.
weeks so that
Okay.
you and I can both account. So let's say Tuesdays at 8 a.m. is your best time, right? That we would just do it Tuesdays at 8 a.m. every 2 weeks unless something happened or you couldn't make it or whatever. And we would just go over the plan for that week or the following 2 weeks. Black Friday, we're gonna start talking about ASAP, because the batching is gonna be important,
Yeah.
right? Because I always tell people if you do one or two ahead of time, when Black Friday comes, the fact that we're doing twice as many than we did before won't be that big of a deal because they're already in the pocket, right? They're just sitting in Canva waiting to be scheduled. Nothing changes. Prices ain't changing. Pictures ain't changing. Shit change, right? So there's no reason that we can't do it. So we're gonna have like an outline sheet. It's gonna keep track of everything. It's gonna have your notes on it, my notes on it. I'm also gonna give you like this weekly track sheet where you just put all your progress on it for the week, and that's how I keep track of what you did, right? So at the end of your internship, I'll have matrix and numbers and real data to be able to say, oh, you did A, B, and C throughout the course of this internship. It was this many hours. It was this many posts. It was this much growth. This was the percentage in increase in followers. We're able to count all of that from a data perspective once your internship is done. And then we will
Oh.
have
Okay.
training. We'll probably have to do like 3 training sessions. I would like to offer you the position if I haven't said that already.
Oh, okay.
But the first training session will just be like getting to know Virgin Mary as like a
Mm-hmm.
company, and the second will be kind of getting more into what I would like to do from like a process standpoint, and then the third one will be more of us starting to plan what everything actually looks like, what we're really doing, what that schedule looks like, what just the daily basis of like what our everything is going to be like. So it'll be 3 sessions, probably somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour each. And I'll just like fill you in on everything Virgin Mary. And the goal from that is so that your mind will be in a more similar place to where my mind is when we go to talk about it. I'm going to tell you about the
Mm-hmm.
history, why I started, just like all of the things. So when you go to make stuff, your mind is going to be coming from that place, not necessarily a consumer place, if that
Gotcha.
makes any
Okay.
sense.
Sounds good. Of course, I would love to accept the position. I'm really excited. And I really am excited to look over what you have and then kind of put my own like spin on it and stuff like that. Figure out how like the best way that we can get your brand out there some more. So
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, and you
really
said something
excited.
really important. If for whatever reason, let's say you have a viral post and Nicki Minaj finds it, right? And she's like, oh my gosh, this Virgin Mary hair is everything. I want it. Give me the 30 inches bust down, $2,000, something crazy, right? Let's say something crazy happens and the business takes off, right? And I am able to then afford to pay you, that is automatically going to happen, right? I'm gonna message you or probably call you because I'm probably gonna be hyped, or I'm probably gonna be like, oh my gosh, can we schedule a meeting? But just know, like, if something financially ever changes in the business, then your
Mm-hmm.
position will automatically go to a paid position because that is clearly from your work, right? I am not currently
Gotcha.
posting on social media. You come in, you start posting on social media, where I get more business. There's a direct correlation, therefore, you directly get the benefits. The only reason the
Gotcha.
position is currently unpaid is just because there's not enough income coming in from it right now. I really get probably
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 customers a month, which, like I said, is great because I'm not marketing, but that also doesn't really support, being able to
Your
pay
full
somebody
yeah.
at this time right now. So I want you to know that that is a changeable thing. That is not something that is like we blow up, Nicki Minaj orders fucking 50 bundles, and I'm like, ha ha. I want you to know that like the success you do is a direct reflection on the business, and I absolutely will make sure to acknowledge that.
All right, great. Yeah. I also, so I looked at the thing. It was like 4 hours, like minimum. But like, how many? I guess is it more like how many hours I want to put into it? It's kind of like what I like as long as it's 4 hours, or is it kind of like you're expecting minimum that just that amount, or because I suppose every day is to batch. I guess if I batch like whatever you give me, it probably take less than 4 hours, so like around 4 hours. But realistically, if you're like trying to make reels, like really pushing it, it's probably more than that. So is that like, is it okay if it's just four and it's like less posts, or you really want like posts every single day and it needs to be, you know, like kind of all the stuff we talked about, like a lot of reels and stuff like that. So I guess what's your expectation? How many posts you do want put like one post per day, like minimum?
Yes. So what we used to do is batch them. So the last intern, I think she worked on like Sundays or Saturdays. She picked a
Mm-hmm.
random day in the week, and she would do her 4 hours all in one day. She would do them all that day, and then she would just schedule them. So she's not posting on Monday and then posting on Tuesday and then posting on Wednesday and then posting on Thursday. She spends her 4 hours on one day doing all of them, and she schedules them. So they auto post on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So she doesn't look at it every day. But the second intern, she did manually go in and do it a couple times a week. I don't think it was every day, but I think she did go in and manually do it. I still think she batch created them, but I don't think
Mm-hmm.
she did them all in one day. I think she did them on 2 different days, which is why she posted them the way she did. So it really just depends on your schedule. If you're able to
Mm-hmm.
have them all done, you don't have to access Instagram every single day. They can absolutely be scheduled, and you could only go on Instagram once a week. That's totally up to you. I don't have any preference on that at all whatsoever when you do it, but I do want one post on Instagram every single day. And I am not a fan of reels, right? So if
Yeah.
you think reels work better and you want to do reels, I'm totally okay with that. Let me know what you need in the reels. But I like pictures also, right? So
Mm-hmm.
to that point, if you're posting 7 pictures with captions and descriptions or whatever the case may be, then that's probably not going to take as long as the reel. Also, I think once you get in the groove, you'll know what needs to be posted and what's not. Like, for example, she knew that we did alopecia Mondays, right? So she went through and did 30 alopecia facts off GP, right? So then every Monday for like what, 2 or 3 or 4 months, there was alopecia facts. She just had them in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
She never had to go create another alopecia fact after that one day that she went through. She had a template. We have a template. So all the alopecia facts go on that template. So you're not creating a new graphic. You're not creating a new design. You're literally just changing the words that say alopecia is affected by 92% of Black Americans to alopecia affects Black women more than white women. You're just changing the words on it. So that might have took her 30 seconds to go and duplicate and make 50 of them or something for the whole semester. So some stuff is on templates. So you're really just changing the picture or the words or the context or something like that. And then a lot of them are going to be reposted also. So like on the Black Friday days, we're gonna do 2 posts per day. But that post that you posted September 1st, you can bring back November 1st as one of those 2 posts for your day, and then the other post could be a Black Friday post. So everything doesn't have to be this like super original form of content that you're creating to post every day, if that makes sense. We just need to make sure that it's scheduled to post.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because Reels just if we're trying to like really grow, like Reels is where it's at. Even though I don't, like I said, I don't really like Reels much either. Like if you when you look at my page, you'll see like I post like pictures more because it just is more fun for me to post. Um, but Reels have done the best. They've
Okay.
reached way more people. I've gotten actual followers from that. And it honestly did take a lot of time. So of like me just doing it all the time and like figure out what reels work best. So 2 3 months of me posting reels, I still am learning just as much as I was like the first day. So yeah, definitely reels is probably going to be something I would say we should prioritize if we're trying to grow and reach new customers and stuff like that. But then pictures and stuff can be as well, like educational and stuff is also helpful. Um, and like I said, we'll go over like other similar pages and see, you know, what people actually really want to see. So like yeah, it'd be nice to post um like facts or things like that, but what people prefer to see something else, So that'd be the question like I would try to solve throughout this internship of like what do people like really want to see from our page.
And
So
I think something that's really important is although we sell hair, we are not a beauty brand. We are a medical brand, right? So what the girls who are doing, who are simply beauty focused, we have another clientele, right? We deal with patients who have alopecia, right? So we are not just here to look cute. And I think that's what a lot of the pages post. It's just, I have on makeup. I look cute. I have my hair done. It's very superficial, right? And we
yeah,
shy away from superficial. You can wear hair, but maybe you're wearing hair because it's a protective style. My hair's down here. I'm not wearing hair because I'm bald headed. I'm wearing hair because I have really thick hair and I want to take care of it, right? I have friends who have locks, who wear wigs. I have friends who have alopecia who wear wigs, right? So we want to make sure that the focus is not superficial and just beauty, right? So if that's the reason why you don't see a lot of those like I guess like doing my hair videos, right? Alopecia patients don't want you to see what their hair looks like before it's done. You know what I'm saying? So whereas somebody who has all of their hair feels real comfortable showing their hair before and then showing it washed, a lot of alopecia patients aren't going to feel that way. So we want to make sure that the messaging aligns with our clientele and not necessarily
yeah.
regular brands. And anytime we have reels, I'll create the reels for you. I'm not going to give you a bunch of videos and make you create the reel. If you're going to post a reel, the reel's going to be done when you get it. So the only thing that you're going to have to do still is caption, context, music, but I'm going to give you the reel. I'm never going to give you like 5 videos or 12 videos and you have to make the reel.
Okay. If you one day you're just like, oh my god, I don't have time to do this. Like I don't have time to edit a video or whatever. That's what I do. Okay. So if you need
Okay.
me to edit a video or something and like it's stopping you from sending it to me, I know how to use CapCut, Premiere Pro, whatever.
Okay.
So I can if you need help, like I can do that because
Okay.
that's literally all I do. So
Okay.
yeah, but definitely if that's what you normally do, you just send me the real, cool.
Yeah,
But
because
if
to
you're just
your
like, man,
point, they're time
yeah,
consuming, right?
they
So
are
I
time
and I don't
consuming.
want you to spend 4 hours working on the video, on the one reel, right? So
Got you.
you're right. I don't want that. And I know that's a possibility. And to your point, that might be in the past why we didn't really do that, right? It's because I do want you to stay at 4 hours. I don't want you to go over 4 hours, right? Because I want you to have a personal life and I want you to focus on school.
Mm,
So if at any point in time you feel like the workload is too much, let me know. We can figure
yeah, of
out,
course.
another way to do something. But no, I don't ever want you to spend more than 4 hours. If you feel like you're working, you get to the 4 hour mark and you're still not done, let's talk about it.
Okay, that's definitely fair. I
Yeah.
got you.
I don't want to monopolize your time at all. Want to make this
I
easy
also,
breezy for you.
yeah. Also, have you done actually have seen a video. This is so random because I'm thinking about this. But I actually remember seeing a lady. She had alopecia. She was on TikTok, and
Mm-hmm.
she actually like posted like the transformation video, like her putting like the wig on and stuff. Have you ever done like reaching out to like different influencers who have alopecia, like to send them the hair or anything like that?
When the budgets, I will. I don't really have $500 to be sending out, $500 care packages to everybody. Because my hair is raw, it's just expensive. And that goes back to
Okay.
what I said about paying you, right? To me, that would be more of a priority than even giving the $500 worth of hair to influencers, right? Because y'all are influencers because you already have a reach, which probably means brands are already reaching out to you, right? I personally, if I had the $500, I would rather pay you, right? Because you are the one helping me to fix my brand. So, is that in my plans? Yes. But I don't, it's not in the budget right now. It's not in
It
the
makes sense.
marketing
I was
budget
wondering
right now.
if you ever thought about it or did ever
Yes.
ask. I know you've been doing this for a minute, so
Yeah,
okay.
I have. They want free hair,
Yeah,
which is
yeah, and you
understandable.
said so. What is so? I'm not actually a. I really only ever done like. And we can talk about this in another meeting. I don't want to talk spin all day
No,
talking
you're
hair, but
fine.
I don't really do like I guess extensions or anything like that. I only ever really done braids because I mean everybody can braid at some point. Um, and like I'm very simple. I do the same hairstyle forever, and then I just started my wax like 9 months ago. So I just started this. But what does raw hair mean? Because I don't know the difference. So
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell me. You can teach you about more later, but
Yeah, no,
yeah.
no, I'll tell you. So raw basically just means that it has not been altered at all, right? So some lady grew her hair and they cut it off and it's in like it's never been perm, she's never got bleach, she's never had dye, she's never had any chemical treatments on her scalp whatsoever. Right? So for example, for me, I got perms when I was little. So I could grow my
Yeah.
hair down to my butt. If somebody decided to cut it, it's not raw. My chemicals in my head, they are in my head. They're screwed. They're fried. They're done. Right? I can't grow raw hair to save my life. Regardless of how beautiful it looks, regardless of how long it is, it's not raw because there's chemical processing that has happened to my head. So these are people who have never had any chemical processing at all. And then once the hair is cut, it's not been chemical processed and it's not been like changed in texture, right? So if they have some random wave pattern, that's the wave pattern. So that's another thing. A lot of the pictures and videos that people share online, they have altered that wave pattern. And we don't alter any wave patterns, which is why the hair doesn't always look perfect, right? Or styled. It's because it literally grew off somebody's head. And we know no two people's curl patterns are completely identical, right? You and
Yeah.
I could both have 4C hair, and we could take a piece of our hair, and the coil could be two different coils, So it's kind of the same concept as far as like raw hair goes, but that's really the difference. So that's why it's more expensive
Okay.
because it just lasts longer and it's supposed to be able to do more with it if you want to do it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be cool to compare. Like if you have some like I guess I don't want to say regular, but like process,
I
not
think
raw.
I actually do have a pack of processed hair. Somebody gave it to me by accident. I never thought to do a comparison video, but those are the ideas, right? Because I got hair upstairs, and I can go take a bunch of videos of the hair, but like, what is the concept of the video, right? So
Yeah,
that's a great
that's
one.
what I
So,
was just about to say. Yeah,
yep, I
yeah,
can have
yeah.
that
That's
one
just
for
like
you.
okay.
I can do that.
Yep. Yeah, that's the type of stuff I'm like, okay, why should I buy? Why should I spend $400 or $500 or how much it is when I can go anywhere and get a quick pack of hair, or whatever. I guess like I don't buy hair, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But you know what I mean? Like, why should I do that, right? So that's kind of where we have to sell. Like, okay, yeah, you're gonna spend a lot of money, but this is completely authentic hair. It's from wherever it's from, and you can do more with it. So you can do the same style on somebody with it, and with like the processed version, and then like the raw version, and like I bet you the style will just look a lot better. And that can be like a selling point for like a video. It could be quick, but just be like side by side comparison, like you can't deny that. So that's kind of like some of the things I would look for because I'm sure there's other companies that do kind of doing some of the things you're doing, and if there's some, I'm sure there's some people who are successful with selling it. So that would be, I'm sure they're doing some videos like that. So that's the kind of stuff I would definitely look for. TikTok's a good spot to find videos like that are really quick and sell because people, sell on TikTok all the
I just
time.
feel like there's a bunch of hair styling videos on TikTok, and I don't do hair, so I cannot style. So that video that you just talked to, I cannot provide you a video where the hair is styled because I don't do hair. Look at I don't do my own hair. I have on a scarf. Like this is how my hair is 90% of the time. So styling videos, I can't provide them, right? And that's
But wouldn't that be like a style? It could just be like you flat iron it or doing like this or something. Like it could be like something simple. Well, I will look and see. So
okay.
we will
I want
we
to
will
be realistic with you when I tell you I don't do hair, right? So
yeah.
that's why there is no videos on the page of hair being done because I don't do hair. And
That's
I think
fine.
some
Yeah.
people steal videos. There's no stolen videos on our page. People use
Yeah.
other people's videos. There's no videos from other people on our page. If I did not get my hair done and I paid for it, the video doesn't go on my page. So that's kind of like the ethical issues. I'm a very ethical person. So that's kind of like one of the big things that I run into is just ethically making sure that I am aligning with my quality standards, and I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of people are okay with throwing those to the side at the cost of a sale, and I'm not. The whole business could go to shit as long as I keep my standards. I'm not one of those people who are willing to sacrifice it. So,
Got it.
you know,
Yeah. Well, when I look over everything, and we can have a bunch of like cool ideas and like, oh, we should try this, and like we'll see like kind of what like be a cool like concept to like introduce to your brand and stuff like that.
yeah.
So even if you don't do styling of the hair, I'm sure we can do like a cool comparison video at some point, or just showing like how nice the hair is, because that's going to be like the selling point. Like, man, this is great. That's why you should spend all this money on it. So how can we do that? So that'd be
Yeah.
like kind of what I would want to do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely get into that. And in training, we'll do like a comparison. I always use cars as an example, right? Because people always wonder why expensive cars are expensive, but the people who can afford expensive cars don't wonder why they're expensive. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think that's why the education is so important to me because I feel like people buy cheap because that's all they can afford. It's not because they don't want better. It's because genuinely nobody has ever educated them one way or the other that there is a better option. So
Mhm.
I definitely, we could definitely get into that. And I'll show you
Okay.
all of my little education videos that I have, and you tell me what direction you want me to go in. But I love all of the ideas, even if it's not something that I can do. Right? That doesn't
Mhm.
mean don't give me the idea. You could tell me, all right, you know what? I think it'd be real cute if you went and got a jet and did like a little cute, jet walk, and the hair is just like and then I'm like, okay, well, I don't have no jet. But what that does is it puts ideas in my head that even if I cannot feasibly do it now, my mind as a business owner is gonna churn, right? So even when you said the
Yep.
whole side by side styling, I'm over here like, well, damn, who can I find in Thailand to do my hair? So just because I can't do it now, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
doesn't mean it's not a good idea. Yeah. That
Mhm.
probably just means, all right, you need to figure that shit out. Because why the fuck can't you get somebody to do your hair? You know what I'm saying? So give me all the ideas. Give me all the ideas.
Cool.
Yes.
All right.
But I don't want to hold you up. I'm going to send you the contract. And then I'm going to send you the link so you can schedule our first powwow session. And we can start training.
All right. Sounds great.
Did you have any
Thank
other
you so much.
questions?
That was all that came to mind. But
Okay.
I definitely got any more. I'll let you know or I'll ask you during our meeting.
Yes, and I love questions. There's no dumb question. Ask me as many questions as you want. I love them.
Sounds good.
All right.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. I hope
Thank
you have a
you.
great day.
Thank you. You too. Thanks.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Did really nobody join the whole time? I looked over like